Okay, so in this video, what are the top 5 reasons that some people that I know hate Donald Trump? Recently, I was talking with some friends, and they let me know that there was some very good reasons to hate Donald Trump, and being that I really enjoy Donald Trump and his policies, I was open to listening, and I thought of having a debate, but I chose not to, and you'll see why. But let's find out what those top 5 reasons are for hating Donald Trump. Now, you would assume that hating Donald Trump would be an entire presidency thing. You would hate him from the beginning to the end. And so you'd get a smattering of reasons, some from the beginning, some from the end of his presidency, some from the middle. But instead, I think you're going to be surprised to find out what the top 5 reasons are. And I'll give you a bonus 6th that I think is quite astonishing. Let's start with number 1. The first reason, and the biggest reason, is usually what they bring up first. That's why it's first. If I tell you that I don't like something or I do like something, it's usually relevant to bring up the biggest reason you do or don't like something. But that's not the case, apparently, because they didn't know what they were talking about. The number 1 reason that we don't like Donald Trump, according to them, was horrible tweets on January 6th that they found embarrassing. So, what were they? Well, I said, okay, tell me what the tweets are. And they said, well, I don't remember any specific tweets. Okay, well, tell me generally what it was. Well, I don't remember any general tweets or a general feeling. I just remember it was embarrassing. Okay, so you don't even know. You have no idea what you're talking about. They said, well, I did at the time, but I have forgotten now. So I guess it wasn't important, which begs the question, why did you bring it up as your top reason or your first reason? So then we moved on to reason number 2, now that reason number 1 has been debunked, or at least they didn't convince me that it was a good reason. We moved on to reason number 2, which was January 6th speech was embarrassing. So I got to asking them, what was wrong with his speech? Well, we don't know. Well, what generally did he say? Well, we don't know. Okay. And granted, this was a husband and a wife, right? And I was texting them. And so they come back with, well, there's lots of other reasons we don't like him. And I said, no. Let's focus on this one. You said he gave a speech. Let me show you the speech that I remember from January 6th. Made me quite proud that he was my president. Here you go.
I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us. From me, from you, from our country. This was a...
Anyway, he goes on. Go home peacefully. Don't break the law. Respect law and order. I thought it was a great talk, great speech, encouraging everyone to just go home. And so I think their second reason was junk. Reason number 1, his tweets that we don't remember. Reason number 2, his speech that we don't remember. But the speech that I remember, and there was another speech to protesters, and granted it got them riled up. But there's nothing wrong with it. It didn't embarrass me. He said the election was stolen. He said the election was a joke. I mean, he's not the only one saying it. And there's a lot of people in higher up places that think it's odd that the man that hid in his basement won, and the man that got more votes than any Republican president in history lost. But anyway, let's move on to number three. Third reason. Third reason that we hate Donald Trump. He was involved in this Georgia election scandal. I remember it was the husband that brought that up. What about the Georgia election scandal? What about it? Let's take a peek at little Fani Willis. Fani Willis is headed to court over her lover. Turns out the prosecutor that she hired as the attorney general, she's the attorney general, and she hired a prosecutor. Turns out they've been smooching and going on trips with the exorbitant amount of money he's been billing. There was a few days that he billed the state of Georgia from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., according to what I had seen. He is able to bill for a 24-hour day. Must be a very busy man. Must be counting the time with Fani as service to the people of the state of Georgia. So, Fani's in trouble. She's headed to court. That's falling away. Looks like that's going to go away. Fani Willis admits to a personal relationship. Just in the last few days, she's admitted to a personal relationship with the prosecutor. So there's that. That was number three. That was the third reason. And we now have pretty much seen that it's a joke. Let me show you. On Mark Dice's YouTube channel, he had a great video where he talked about how this law is being used to prosecute him. And it's a joke. If you want to go through and look at what's going on, you can see that basically it's all trumped up charges, right? So this person texted that person, so now they're part of it. And this person sent an email, so now they're part of it. And so they have indicted like 18 poor souls and hauled them in for their special pictures. Here's a video that'll show you how stupid and just thoughtless some of these charges are.
Italian mafia, so that the higher-ups, the leaders of the families, could be indicted for charges that their underlings did, because, of course, they're trying to portray Donald Trump as a mob boss. And here's some of the supposed evidence detailed in the indictments. On or about the 21st day of November.
Reason number 6, or Act 6, of why they're charging certain people. Because one of them texted somebody. Can you send me the number?
2020, Mark Meadows sent a text message to United States Representative Scott Perry from Pennsylvania and stated, "Can you send me the phone number for the Speaker and the leader of the Pennsylvania legislature? POTUS, the President of the United States, wants to chat with them." This was an overt act in...
Please send me the phone number so I can call somebody. Oh, they're part of it.
Furtherance of the conspiracy. From the Twitter account at Real Donald Trump.
Reason number 22. You'll see here, Donald Trump tells people they should watch TV. Oh my goodness. I think it's One American News Network. He recommended they watch. So now, certain people are part of it.
Trump, Georgia hearings now act in first. Donald Trump telling people to tune in to OAN is part of the conspiracy. On or about the 8th day of December 2020, Michael A. Roman sent a text message to unindicted...
So here you're going to see that somebody asked somebody else to make sure they attend a meeting at the House of Representatives. And now they are also part of the conspiracy to overturn the election. Now let's just talk about that. Donald Trump's on a recorded phone call. He knows the FBI is listening. He's talking to the governor or whoever, right? He is trying to get to the bottom of what he thinks is election fraud. Do you think on a recorded line where the FBI is involved that he's going to ask the governor of the state of Georgia to commit election fraud? Is that truly what you consider happening on that phone call? Nobody thinks that's what happened. You know, I played football, and my football coach used to tell me, go break a leg. Did he want me to break a leg? No. He used to say, get out there and kill him. Did he want me to do that? No. He used to say all sorts of things, but I didn't take them literally. So when Donald Trump says, go find the votes, I think it's pretty obvious that he's saying there's possibly a problem. Please go recount. I'm sure we won the state of Georgia, and when you do, you will find the votes. So go find the votes. That's all that's happening. People that want to take that out of context are taking it out of context and making things up that just are obviously false. It's a prosecution for the persecution. All right, that was number 3. We've pretty well debunked it. It's gone away. Fanny ruined it. Oh, Fanny. So, embarrassing tweets, gone. Embarrassing speech, didn't convince me. Election fraud in Georgia, I don't think so. So here we go. Reason number 4, Stormy Daniels. Oh, look. Stormy Daniels had to pay Donald Trump $300,000. And there's another story. She later had to pay him another $120,000. Stormy Daniels has paid Donald Trump almost $500,000. Her attorney, Michael Avenatti, he's in prison. And he's going to be there for a long time. So, another reason debunked. Did they prove that Donald Trump did anything with Stormy Daniels? No. In fact, quite the opposite. You know, Michael Cohen paid money to Stormy Daniels on behalf of Donald Trump. Okay. There's a debate on which account that came from, but there's no debate on whether or not Donald Trump can legally do that. People are paid hush money all the time. That's essentially what a severance package is. Who knows what happened? But these same people love and revere the Kennedys. And so these people I was debating come from Boston. The Kennedys are like royal family there. Ted Kennedy was a freaking disgrace. And then you look at John F. Kennedy, good policies. That's why they love him. And they happen to overlook his 11 affairs while in office, having sexual relations with young women at the age of 19 in the swimming pool behind the White House. I mean, are we a little biased? We're a lot biased, in my opinion. Those people would judge a man one way and judge another man a different way. So, I'm not really convinced on the Stormy Daniels thing. I think it's his personal life. If Bill Clinton can do that, if John F. Kennedy can do something in his personal life. And you haven't proven anything. With Bill Clinton, we have the dress. With John F. Kennedy, we have pictures and things that he admits. With Donald Trump, we have the fact that he paid some money to her. Okay, didn't convince me. And even if he did, last week I was given an antibiotic, and I took it, and it burned my throat. Swallowing it was difficult sometimes, but I took it anyway because I knew it was good for me. I believe the same thing for the United States of America and Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a little abrasive, but I like that. Donald Trump might say some things that people don't always agree with, but he speaks the truth. He definitely speaks his mind. You don't have to wonder if there's an ulterior motive. You know, I don't think you'll catch him negotiating with the Russians like we saw Obama do on a hot mic saying, hey, after I get elected, I can really do some stuff. I mean, I paraphrased that, but that's what he did. With Donald Trump, you get the straight shot. Here's what it is. Here's who I am. So, Stormy Daniels and all the other women that have accused him, I mean, this latest one, she's something special, let's just say that. And the evidence that was and was not allowed in court, I think, in my opinion, was incredibly unfair towards Donald Trump. He did not get a fair day in court. He did not get to defend himself adequately. There was all sorts of stuff, like the name of her dog, or her saying people fantasize about grape on CNN with Anderson Cooper. So there's all sorts of ladies. You're not convincing me with the Stormy Daniels thing. And sometimes taking an antibiotic burns on the way down. Doesn't mean it's not exactly what you need. Sometimes that antibiotic needs to be taken just so that you can get rid of all the dirty bacteria. And I think Donald Trump does a great job of that. So, let's move on. That was reason number 4. Once again, 4th strike, you didn't convince me. Let's go to reason number 5. Now, we're probably getting to a good one by now, right? Reason number 5, not really. The Ukrainian scandal where Donald Trump was impeached. Let's look at that. Here's Mr. Joe Biden, and he's going to tell us all about what he did. He withheld money so that he could protect his son. He wanted the prosecutor in Ukraine dismissed and taken out of office so that he would quit investigating Burisma. And Snopes and these other guys will tell you, no. We wanted the Attorney General in Ukraine to step down because he wouldn't look into Burisma. That's not what it was. Here we go.
That we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son.
Anybody notice how uncomfortable this guy is right here? Not excited about the story that Joe Biden's telling.
Son of a got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
All right, I've had enough. All right, so those are the top reasons they hate Donald Trump. I wasn't convinced on any of them. I mentioned to them that their son had mentioned to me in the car one day about 2 years ago that, actually it's been a while, it's while Donald Trump was in office, but that they hate Donald Trump. And these two people proceeded to tell me that I was attacking them and their son. I just mentioned that their son told me that they hate Donald Trump. I wasn't attacking anybody. In fact, that was an attempt, after realizing they had given me 5 bogus reasons to hate Donald Trump, that was an attempt to make me look like the aggressor, when all I had done was sit here and listen to 5 bogus reasons without refuting any of them. I offered 0 arguments back. 0 debate. I just asked questions, and I could tell by their answers that their lack of knowledge was starting to frustrate them, and they also said that was an attack. That's victim speech, and I'm used to that coming from the left. But these people claim to be Republican, but that's definitely victim speak. And you're trying to make me the aggressor for asking you questions about your opinions, and you vomited your opinions onto me. You asked me 0 questions about what I thought. You offered me no opportunity to debate. You accused me of being the aggressor and you the victim. And all I did was listen. The biggest thing, reason number 6 that I promised, there was no reason number 6. But the 6th, or actually the 6th thing, which should have been the first thing that they spoke of, was Donald Trump's policies. I asked them, what do you think of Trump's policies? And they said, oh, his policies? Well, we have no problem with his policies. We like them. So you know the antibiotic is good for you, but you don't want to take it because you think it tastes bad. Grow up. Sometimes what's good for you doesn't always taste good. Now, in my opinion, I know the difference. I understand. And in my opinion, I do understand. I understand why we need Donald Trump, why the antibiotic might burn to some people, but it tastes great to me. I understand why I'm taking it, and I understand that I need it. Donald Trump is one of the only presidents to have lost money while being president because of all the prosecution, all the persecution. He was willing to not take a paycheck. Joe Biden's taking a paycheck, and he's cashing those checks. This country needs Donald Trump. At this moment in time, we have a lot against us, whether it's a desire to still fix the healthcare system, or the crisis at the border, or the national debt of $34 trillion and climbing rapidly, or inflation, or a multitude of things, even things like abortion, or boys trying to swim on the girls' swim team. There's a lot at stake right now. And that's why we need Donald Trump. Nikki Haley's not going to get it done. She's just another Mitt Romney with long hair. Ron DeSantis, he's a good guy. I think maybe he could be ready for the next presidency. But what I do know is Donald Trump's the man for the job right now. He's the man we need. I don't think there's another Republican out there that's going to get it done. I think he has the best policies. And that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm excited about. So God bless that man. He could be in the Caribbean taking it easy with his family, and he's here serving because he loves this country, and you can see that. No political gain, no personal gain, just a love for the country. So God bless that man, and God bless this country.